Let's go!
Sweet, another video game review. Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. Man, as a kid, I used to play this game all the time. I had a Nintendo 64 as a kid, and just the amount of experience I had playing this game, and what's quite funny as well, is that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was just announced like a week ago at E3. But I think it would be cool to revisit the first Super Smash Bros. Where it all began. This game first came out back in April of 1999, and it was the game that started the whole series of Super Smash Bros. So without further ado, let's get this review started, shall we? Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64, the first game in the series. While games like Melee expanded the core gameplay of the original, the core gameplay of Super Smash Bros. Is just amazing. This game is easy to master, but hard to learn, and there are so many different playstyles with each character that it makes Super Smash Bros. Such a genius fighting game to pick up and master. The first game was amazing. While this game lacks in content compared to the other games, it makes up for it greatly with its amazing gameplay, and not to mention the fact that the incentive of unlocking the 4 characters in this game adds to the game's replayability. Okay, now it's time to talk about the development of the original Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Was developed by HAL Laboratory, also responsible for developing the Kirby games. Originally, this game was supposed to be called Dragon King the Fighting Game, but eventually they decided to use Nintendo characters and make it a crossover game. This game was actually a low-budget game when it first came out, but the reception this game got when it first came out was crazy, and became such a successful game on the Nintendo 64. Okay, now it's time to talk about the gameplay of Super Smash Bros. The gameplay of Super Smash Bros. Is very enjoyable. I touched base on the core gameplay earlier and how accessible and fun this game is, but now I am going to touch base on the modes. Like I said before, this game is light on content, but the main mode in this game is the one-player mode, and it's pretty fun. You can select your difficulty and the amount of stock you want to use, and the battles are in order in this game. You fight a giant Donkey Kong, Metal Mario, and even Master Hand. And what's cool about this mode is that this mode is the centerpiece for unlocking a few of the characters in this game. The Break the Targets mode is fun as well, and I am disappointed that Board the Platforms didn't make a return in Melee. As for the free-for-all mode, this mode is what truly made Smash Bros. Such a fun game. Friends and family across the world would spend hours and hours just battling and facing one another, and this is what made Super Smash Bros. The best multiplayer on the Nintendo 64 in my opinion. Overall, what truly defines Super Smash Bros. The original in my opinion is the versus mode and just how much fun it is to play with your friends and family, although the single player campaign is fun as well. So, what are my final thoughts about Super Smash Bros.? Wow. Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 is such an enjoyable Nintendo 64 game. The core gameplay in this game is excellent, and this was the game that started the whole series. While I do believe that this game is an excellent game, every game after this game I feel surpassed the first game, but that's not to say that this game is mediocre, because this game is truly one of the best games to own on the Nintendo 64. And it's funny how this game at first was not even originally supposed to be a Nintendo crossover game. This game, almost 20 years later, still holds up well, and I give this game a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching this review. I will see you guys next time.